Hello, my name is Jordan, and I am part of the Mindset Design team. I will be talking today about the double diamond process, a method for mitigating potential problems early and effectively. Let me start with an analogy. Let's talk about movies. Movies are not shot the moment an idea pops into a producer's head. They have to go into pre production. A script needs to be written. Market research is conducted to see if companies will even pay for the movie. It's a process that ensures the highest chance of success from a heavy financial investment. Similarly, companies want to ensure the best results before investing time and money into their websites, apps, and products. Instead of jumping straight into designing screens, UX designers can use design thinking in the form of a process called the double diamond to mitigate uncertainties and gather important information. Here are the different phases that make up the double diamond. Scope. Before we get to the double diamond itself, scoping allows us to identify boundaries, define exactly what problems we want to focus on, and define things that are ancillary or would distract us from achieving our goals. Understanding your scope with the client frames your work all the way through delivery of the solution. Now, on to the double diamond proper. Research. First, we must understand the problem we are trying to solve from the user's perspective. We typically use user interviews to find out the specific problems our user base is experiencing in a defined scope. We often capture this research in the form of a customer journey map that tracks the user's emotions throughout their typical experience using a product. And understand. Once we have gathered our users' pain points, we can use data synthesis techniques like affinity mapping, service blueprints, and personas to narrow down the problems we want to bring back to the stakeholders to prioritize. Using this data, we work with the stakeholders to identify the highest impact and lowest effort pains to solve first and generate a lean hypothesis around it. What do we think will be the result of solving this problem, and how will we measure if we are achieving it? Now that we've solved the first diamond, we can move on to the second. Ideate. With a clear focus in mind, we can now ideate on ways to solve this problem. We use a method called Design Studio, group sketching sessions, to quickly generate a proliferation of conceptual ideas from both the UX team and the clients as well. Participants then vote and decide which ideas should be explored further in a testable prototype. And last, validate. With a design in mind, we turn to software design tools like Figma to make high-fidelity mockups of screens. We then test them with end users to validate that our solution hits the mark. Once validated, we work as part of the Agile delivery team to build the minimum viable product, or MVP, of the solution and iterate upon it as needed. In conclusion, it's better to identify pivot points earlier than later. Less time, less money, and less headaches are caused when a designer needs to fix a prototype than when the dev team needs to change the entire front and back end. The double diamond process is great at mitigating potential issues by identifying problems and solutions before development even begins. Thank you for listening.